Right now I'm at 5 units. I have one in Berkeley, St. Louis, San Diego, and I have 2 in Dallas. The other bedroom has been making me like 1.8 to 2K. So I was thinking I'll rent it out on Airbnb, pack all my stuff, and just go to my girlfriend's house.
Hello, Jonny.
Hey, how you doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing well. Steph.
Good. Appreciate you. Tell me a little bit about yourself. So, what do you do like at the moment, and then why did you decide to start an Airbnb business?
So basically, what happened? I was a social worker at Work to Future. It's this company in San Jose, California, which I work with them. And then I ended up getting laid off. And then from there, I had an apartment in Berkeley. And I was basically, I couldn't make rent. I really just thought of an idea like, hey, let me just rent it out, right? So I was thinking, okay, rent it out on Airbnb, but I had to see with the landlord. So basically, I just asked the landlord if I could just rent it out. From there, every time I would rent the place out, I would just pack all my stuff and just go to my girlfriend's house. And I'll stay over there while I begin rented out. And then I just kept doing that, and then I ended up getting another job from there. And so I had that income and then the work income as well. So from there, I was just, stacking up. And then later on, I decided like maybe a year after, I decided like, hey, I wanted to do it more often and try to scale. But then I was getting some trouble with like talking to landlords. Like I was like, basically I tried to do the same thing I was doing with the first landlord with all the other landlords. And it just wasn't working, I had kind of a relationship with landlord, where I was just, okay, I just asked them, hey, can I do this with the apartment?
Yeah.
I think it'll be good for me, and he was open with it,
So you were honest with the landlord, you asked him permission to rent it out. So did you approach it from, the point of view of it's going to be used as an Airbnb and, you were going to look after it in terms of the regular cleaning, vetting the guests and all that kind of thing?
Yes. I told him, hey, I'm going to be using it for Airbnb, and I didn't know the other sites at this time, right? So I was like, I'm going to use it for Airbnb, and I'm going to make sure the place is taken care of, and you have no worries on that, and I'm going to keep it clean, and I did. I honestly did my first clean by myself. I didn't have a cleaner yet. I didn't have that in mind yet. I did my first clean by myself. And I was like, yeah, nah, I can't do this.
No way. I mean, it's always what we teach in the course, trying to automate that stuff from the start. You do not want to be doing that. So tell me, if you were struggling with getting another property, because you obviously saw that this was working for you with this first apartment, unfortunately you got knocked back. So was it getting to a place of, okay, I need to learn how to maybe better approach these landlords, that you came into the course? Like, how did you find James? How did you find our community, basically?
So after that year, after I decided to ask a bunch of landlords and stuff, and I kept getting turned down. Then after that particular year, that's when I said, hey, I'm going to reach out to some mentorship. I looked at James's profile on his Instagram. I was looking at his stuff, and then I engaged with likes, and then he reached out to me actually in the DMs. Then from there, he would talk to me about my Airbnb business. Ask me questions, and I told him, I said, hey, I'm doing okay, but I don't have it all down packed. I wasn't keeping track of stuff. So you notice I wasn't keeping track of stuff. I didn't see it as a real business. I see it more like a side hustle then. he gave me some free advice first, before I really honed in on his group. But
so how long have you now been a part of the community?
I've been a part of the community for about 6 months. I'd say 6 months or 7 months.
Okay,
maybe.
and cool. And so how's it been coming in? And did you have a property when you joined, or what? Yeah, where were you at when you actually joined the community? Because did you still have the apartment in Berkeley?
I had the same apartment. I didn't scale not one bit, but I had built some business credit. So that's why I was able to just start. I was able to just get going. And then once I got in, I watched the recordings and I was getting on the lives. I make sure I asked my questions. A couple of the guys from the group actually helped me with my next 2 units.
Now, who was that?
Wazim helped me with my next 2.
Oh, that's great. This is the thing, you're part of a community where, there's so many of our clients, you're in the same boat, you're working full time, you're either studying, you're a mom, a dad, you've got kids. And everyone's just trying to build this business and try and get it to a place where they've got more time to maybe focus on that or do whatever it is that you want to do. So what are some of your goals and what are you hoping to achieve, in terms of building this Airbnb business?
I want to build it about 10 units before I get to the summer, So I get to the summer, maybe get some co-hosting in as well, so I could kind of scale faster. But I've opened up a little bit just because of life and personal stuff. Right now I'm at 5 units right now. Yeah, I'm trying to get to more. I'm trying to get 5 more soon. I want to reach to maybe 20K to 25K a month, and also do more. I want to do more with credit as well. I want to do both of those.
Let's talk about your properties then. So you've got 5. Where are they all based? In the same city?
So I have 1 in Berkeley, as you know, and then I have 1 in St. Louis, and I have 2 in Dallas, and I have another one in San Diego, California. Yeah.
Okay. Are they apartments, houses?
They're apartments. Yeah, Dallas, Texas. Yeah, they're apartments. And the 4th one is in St. Louis, Missouri. And basically that's like a flat, if you will, like a 2-bedroom flat. So it's kind of like, another side of the duplex, like 1 unit of the duplex. Yeah. So the 5th one is in San Diego, and that's right next to the beach, actually.
Okay, so tell me about the Dallas ones then. So you said that was the 2nd and 3rd apartments that you got that are next to each other. How many bedrooms?
So the first one is a 1-bedroom, and the other one is a 2-bedroom.
When did you actually take them on, and then how have they been performing for you?
So I got them in the summer, and that was maybe mid-June. I got both of them in mid-June, but the 1-bedroom, I got that one before the 2nd bedroom, just because it was some issues going on. It's a long story, but it was just some issues going on, and where I couldn't get the 2nd bedroom up and running, and they ended up giving me a whole new one because the first one I was looking into, it had like a pest thing going on. So
no. Okay.
They're doing good. The 1-bedroom actually picked up way faster than the 2nd bedroom. It's the 1-bedroom has been making me about $2K a month, and the other bedroom has been making me like 1.8 to 2K
net profit. So after all expenses.
Yeah, that's profit right there. Yeah,
that's pretty good.
I'm very blessed with that. I picked a good area, especially because it's a lot going on. A lot of things are moving in that area too.
Are your apartments near sort of venues or anything like that they're performing as well as they are?
They are near tourist hotspots. What is it called? It's Addison. That's the area of Dallas that they're in. And Addison has its own bars and club and restaurants right near. It's an area. It's like a plaza that's pretty known, and it's nice. And then it's 10 to 15 minutes away from downtown. So it's a lot of stuff going on downtown all the time.
And what about for people who are watching you? You know, we get some people who haven't started an Airbnb business and often question, okay, upfront cost. Are you happy to kind of share a bit of that? Like when it comes to the furnishing side of things, how did the apartment come with furniture, or did you have to buy everything?
No, it didn't come with furniture. So it was empty. And the upfront cost, usually when you put in down payment, it usually is like maybe 6 to 8K, you know, for the apartment.
Did you do all the assembly yourself, the decorating, all of that? That was all you?
I actually had some help. My lady helped me out with that. You know, you need a woman's touch sometimes, you know.
Did she enjoy getting involved with that?
She did, but then she didn't want to do none of the carrying and stuff, you know, carrying.
So those are the two in Dallas, and then you said you've got two in St. Louis?
I have one in St. Louis.
One in St. Louis, okay. And that's an apartment. Oh no, you said that was a flat, right?
Like a flat, yeah.
Yeah. So same thing, upfront cost, furniture, got it all set up. You set up all your Airbnbs?
Yeah, I set them all up. Yeah, it was about like 6K for that one. And yeah, it was pretty cool. Yeah, things end up being pretty cool. It's just that like sometimes when you have certain places, you really need to look inside it, you know. You want to see the potential in it. And I didn't see it at first. Then again, later on, it started making good money, you know. But before it wasn't doing that well in the beginning like that, but it started picking up.
Yeah.
So now
but you had done all your research beforehand, right? So you researched the area. It seemed good, but it was a bit of a slow start for that one.
Yeah, it still was a slow start for that one. Also because the booking.com guests are kind of iffy sometimes. And then Wazim actually helped me out with the insurance, using some insurance apps and websites for booking.com and other platforms.
What was the reason for that? The insurance apps, how did that help?
Well, because booking.com guests, they were not your, you know, typical guest. They kind of trash place sometimes. You know, they stole a few things in St. Louis, Missouri. And I didn't know this, but St. Louis is actually the capital murder rate in America.
So, I mean, are you planning to keep that one, or like how long have you had that the flat for?
Well, I had it since July. I plan on keeping it, honestly. I may just turn it into midterm. Maybe have just only corporate, like a corporate lease model only.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah.
So I can keep those. So I can keep working.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good idea. I was just going to say, for people who don't understand what midterm stays are, can you explain that?
Midterm is like 30 days plus to 90 days, you know, or more.
Yeah. So that's all that is. And then, okay. And then your last property, San Diego. How's that one performing for you?
San Diego's actually doing cool. It's doing good just because but some of the guests, they always try to ask for discounts and everything, but I don't really give them discounts, you know, because it's right by the beach. They need to understand, especially if they're not from California, it's right by the beach. So the price has to stay the same. Like, you know, it's going to be pricey, you know, but that's just what it is. But it's doing good. And I get great guests going in there. So
yeah,
nobody ever messes up my stuff. And, you know, it's doing well.
Yeah,
I'm right there. That particular unit, I'm scraping by like 700 to 1,000 a month.
And when did you take that one on?
I took that one on in about late October. You know, so they prorated it, and then we went on to the November. So that was actually the low season for San Diego.
So going back to your guests who are asking for discounts, again, this is a podcast, that's obviously meant to just help people and how they approach certain situations, and that being one of them. If someone's asking you for a discount, what is your response to that, and how are you managing that? Because you obviously still want to get that booking, you didn't want to offer the discount. So how do you approach that with guests?
So I don't know if your podcast is looked over through Airbnb. Does Airbnb see it? Because sometimes we say certain things that doesn't favor Airbnb.
Might, get us in trouble. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I mean, look, I will encourage, and we always encourage our clients, who are also watching this, you want to go for those direct bookings, because there are those commission fees and all the rest of it. I mean, the Airbnb knows that everyone's doing it, and you can get penalized on Airbnb for doing stuff like this, but there's ways around it, isn't there?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So that's what I did. That's what I do. I asked them direct booking, hey, you want a discount, then we're gonna take it from Airbnb's money, then not my money. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. So yeah, that's how I do it.
Yeah, that's exactly the way. And then also, have you got a website set up yet? Because that's something we also love to teach. It's like have your website set up so that if you do have guests staying, you want them returning. So there's a website or QR code that they can scan within your property to then book it again in future. Have you got any of that set up yet?
Yes, absolutely. I have the direct website. It's JP Wisdom Direct Stays. So I have that going on, and
cool.
Yeah, but Hospitable made it for me, so it's not ideal how I would like it to look, but yeah, it was fast. They made it pretty fast, and that's usually I want to work with speed, so it's good for now.
Is that because you're in the States, so that's is it a platform that can create websites for you basically?
Yeah, it's the PMS actually, and they do direct websites as well to help you out.
Yeah. So apart from wanting to acquire 10 properties, what are some of your, I guess, golden nuggets or words of wisdom and advice to anyone watching this, who are inspired by your story, Jonny? What would you say to those people watching and maybe still sitting on the fence with this whole idea?
I say you have to persevere, and most of the time we learn as we go. It's not all the information. You're not going to just get all the information and just go crazy in the business. Most of the times you just learn as you go, and that's what people need to understand. You're not going to just know everything before you start. The best thing to do is just get you one, see how you like it, and then from there, if it's doing good, maybe get some capital back, pay off your business funding or however you did it, then you scale, then scale, do it again, and keep doing it again. Honestly,
just like what you're doing.
Absolutely.
Did you ever think that you'd have 5 properties? I mean, when you first started and you did just give it a go, like not having had much experience or education behind the whole idea. Did you ever think that you'd end up with 5 properties?
Steph, I never thought I would have 5 properties. I never even thought about it, dreamed about it, nothing. Because at first I wanted to go the route of going to school, get my degree. But now I just see the power in passive income, and I see like the time it gave me, the time it gives me back, every week. And I can be away from the business. I can go to different countries. I can be in another country and still being able to work. That's the most powerful thing.
Well, Jonny, thank you for just sharing your story and sharing all your insight into what you're doing and what you're building. And yeah, I really appreciate you just taking the time to come on here and do just that. So I wish you all the best with the next 5 that you're working on. Thank you guys for watching Behind the BNB. This has been Jonny and him sharing his story. And so I know that you would have been inspired. And so, you know, be encouraged and get started in Airbnb. And feel free to share this episode with anyone as well that you know who is also sort of in a similar boat and thinking about doing the same thing. Thank you for watching. Bye.